Okay, so this is a quick redo of the video that I launched prematurely a little bit ago. I really didn't finish editing it and forgot that I'd put it scheduled. So this is on making paper pendants. They're made, well, these are cardstock. And it's very simple. It's fun to do. You can do it with your kids or not. You cut now I've got these 1.5 by 2 inches. And this is just your basic, you probably recognize the scrapbook cardstock. Everybody probably has tons of that if they've ever done scrapbooking. I know I have a ton left. And I'll show you there are different ways you can do it. But I find the perfect thickness, if you're using the cardstock, I like it 4 layers thick. So you put it together. Now, first thing you got to do, I made a template to cut the hole out. Now, see, this one's already 2 layers glued together and 2 layers glued together. So I would glue them together, and that would be my base to start. But I'll show you how you get the hole size. You're just using a basic hole punch. You don't need anything fancy. You fold 1 in half to get your center line. Now you got to see what size jump rings you have. A lot of these I have put on just wire, so I could do it whatever size I wanted, but check and see how far down you need to go for the jump ring you have. So that's very important. So I'm going to go down about, well, let's use centimeters, it's easier. Maybe 1/2 centimeter. And I'm going to make a mark with a pencil right on that middle line that okay, if I can figure out how to use the pencil. Things are not working for me lately, so. All right, I can see that center line that I pinched, and I'm going to go down 1/2 centimeter. I'll get this. The reason why I'm redoing it is the other video didn't have everything in frame, so I'm going to try and get way up here and do it where you can see it. I'm going in see, there's 1 centimeter. I'm going in 1/2 centimeter, and then I'm going to make sure it is right in the middle, and that's where my hole needs to be. Now, once you punch one hole, make sure that's centered. Well, do it this way. Once you punch one hole, then you can just line the others up. Then you just take this one and line it up like this. Now, some of these I did my crocodile, so the holes are smaller, but you can line up a couple at a time. See that? And then just go back, line it up perfectly with the hole. And now I've got all 4 perfectly lined up. All right, and then you would glue 2 together and 2 together. And I'm going to glue these 2 together. Now I let them dry in between. I glue 2, let them dry, glue 2 more, let them dry. And I'm using the Podge, the purple. It's the water-based sealer, glue and finish. And the reason why I use this is it doesn't get sticky. I've done a lot of things with other kinds of medium and Mod Podge, and they tend to get sticky after a while. I don't know if it's the humidity, because we're in Texas down here, so it might be. But I'm being generous with the Mod Podge on this one. Then I'm going to flip this one over. Now, usually I would let this dry, but I'm trying to do this video very quickly so I can get it back online. I meant to edit that other one, but it was Christmas and I got busy with things, and the first thing it launched today, and then the first thing I got was all kinds of complaints, so we're going to redo it. All right, now normally you would let this dry. Line it up as best you can. Normally you would let this dry. But what I'm going to do, as you can see, these are all covered with gel prints. But you can actually use just regular decorated tissue paper, regular decorated napkins work, Christmas tissue paper, whatever you want to do it with. I'm going to show you one variation. And we're going to do that one on wood because it's easier. Now I'm going to, this is some tissue paper I just printed today. And I'm going to take a section that I like. You can move it under there and see if this, I really like this teal and yellow. Or this pink and, no, let's do the teal and yellow. So I'm going to cut a section out that I think I can find something nice from. Now this is tissue paper I printed and it was wrinkled. It was from Christmas. But I know it's acid-free because it was what I had left was some acid-free tissue paper when I wrapped the presents. So, okay, now I'm going to pick a section here. See what looks good to me. Maybe I'll go this way. Okay, that looks interesting right there. A little off center. I don't want it straight up and down. All right, so I'm going to hold it there, lift it up, and glue all underneath that. And like I said, I normally would have let it dry between the other layers that I just did, and I'm going to push it down real hard. And if you don't like wrinkles, this is the time to smooth any wrinkles out with your fingers. Give it a tiny tug, but not too much because wet tissue is going to tear. All right, so we got that. Now I'm going to cut around it, trying hard not to get glue on my scissors. And about, I'm not worried about the back of this one because it's nicely plain. About a little over a ½ inch around it I'm cutting. You don't have to be real precise because you're just going to fold it like a package. In any place that doesn't have, like what I did with some of the others was before I did this, I took something like this and put it in the middle just in case it didn't come together in the middle. But I think if you do it a ½ inch around, it should. But this will give it some interest too. Then I'm going to glue that little piece on there. Now when I fold it in, if it doesn't make it all the way to the middle, now what you're going to do, I think you've seen this before, is cut to the corner and then the other way to the corner. So you're cutting these little square boxes out of the corner. You cut to the corner and to the corner again. So we're cutting out little square boxes. I'm sure you've seen this done with other things. Now you can, like I said, you can smooth them out, you can leave them wrinkled. I like texture, so I don't usually smooth them very much. I actually, I'll show you some of these in a minute, love the texture in them. Now you just generously, and don't worry about the hole. When you run your finger on it, you can feel where the hole is and you can punch it back out with just a pencil. I'm going to fold this one in first and push down really well. And you want to make sure you stretch it so that it goes up over that edge nice and smoothly. All right, now for the side ones, I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the side and this side. And see, because you're doing it from a section of a gel print, it's going to make a little collage on the back. Or if you like that better, that could be the front. Now use your finger to push down the edges. As you can see, some places it comes up a little bit. Well, I'm going to pull that off. But just smooth the edges with your fingers. And there you go. That's what you need. Now you're going to wait till it dries totally, and then you're going to punch that hole out. And all you've got to do after this, I mean, you can use diamond glaze, or you can just use the Mod Podge, or you can use any kind of glossy finish that you've got. There's spray coats you can use. You can use clear gloss spray paint, whatever you want to use to coat it. But I usually use the diamond glaze and I just brush it on. But you wait till it's totally dry, and then do one of the diamond glaze, and then flip it over and do the other side with the diamond glaze. And as you can see, this is a head pin. I just use the head pin to attach a little charm to it. This one too, this is just a head pin. Or you can just use, I don't know if I've got one that's a jump ring, but like this one's also a twisted head pin. But as you can see, you can get some really interesting designs. I'll bring these up, and I'm going to show you this one here. This one, and this one were actually done with the wood blanks that you can buy. And this on top is a punched out piece of cardstock that I punched out a long time ago with my Cricut. Oops, sorry, my Silhouette. I almost bought a Cricut, but I didn't. But I punched that out with my Silhouette. And what you do when you get to this point, you're just going to add that to it. You're just going to glue that down. And with this one, I glued it down to the blanks and then put the tissue over it. But you can do it either way. You can glue it over or under the tissue. And if you get it nice and wet, you can use your brush to push down those areas in between to make it come out like that. I'll see if the part of the video where I show that is any good, and maybe I can add that in. But anyways, that's how you make these. They're super, super simple. Just four sections of cardstock. Glue these two together, glue these two together. When they're dry, glue all four together. When that's dry, take your tissue paper, and just like I showed you, over the top of it. And then when it's done, coat it with the glaze of your choice. I use diamond glaze on these, and as you can see, it's a pretty... Oh, here's the back with no glaze. Can you see the difference? And there's the front with a diamond glaze. See the difference? So, I mean, I prefer diamond glaze. And I use a brush for this technique. I don't, because I know you can put it on there and make it dimensional, but that's not how I do it. I just use a brush and do one. And if it's not like this one, I'll probably go back and do another coat. I see where it's not as shiny as I would like it to be. But, so that's how you do that. And thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry I messed up the first one, but oh well, that happens on occasion. I meant to edit it, but then Christmas came and I got all busy, and that's the way that goes. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll have links to the products that I use below the video. And if you like, please put a like. If you want to see more of my videos and find out when they come out, subscribe and hit that little bell if you want to be notified when the new ones come out. But thank you very much for being patient with me. I know I mess up a lot, but I try. You have a nice day.